Welcome to another episode of IGSTS. I got something to say. It's your boy Floss coming to you today, bringing you them sports, them updates, them talk around towns. I mean, can you give it up for Russell, my man, Mr. Wilson? Can you pay some of my bills, please? Gotta love it. Brother signed for $140 million for an extension. That's $35 per year. What I believe is $65 million signing bonus, cash, and then $107 guaranteed. Hurt ankle, interception, missed playoffs, missed Super Bowl. I mean, he's getting what he deserves. Let's just call it like it is. I mean, since the Legion of Boom, he's been the only thing keeping him relevant. Let's just be honest. Let's just keep that clear. What else is going on? Tiger Woods on this nice comeback. You know, those who said he couldn't do it again, watching him do it again. Even Tiger, you know, he even said he didn't see himself doing it again. I'm like, wow, how does that feel? You know, congratulations to him, though. I'm feeling that. Because honestly, if it wasn't for Tiger, I wouldn't even be watching no golf. There's a lot of people who will agree with that statement. Really probably wouldn't be watching it. But, wow. Like to see that brother come back. He need to do something with his fade, though. Let's just keep that real, you know. I mean, I don't want to mess up his big moment, but there's another big moment. He need to get them faders up. Like RG said, he would try out this line up thing, you know. Dubs, what's going on with the Dubs? Nothing. Here's the thing. I'm going to say it right now. They'll win in 5. They're going to go back to LA. They're going to handle that business. Bring it back. Handle that business. They'll win in 5. Here's why I was looking skeptical, because the player Patrick Beverly on KD. And here's the thing. The Warriors really haven't had to face this type of adversity all season long. Maybe a little more towards the end of the season when it mattered for certain teams to get that last, couple win or two. Had to get them wins in. But honestly, when you play a team like the Warriors who have 5 all-stars starting in every position, it seems a bit unfair, and the human side takes over. So a lot of people will play them like they know they're going to lose. And what's interesting about this Clipper team, it's like a lot of the vets like to say, hey, these boys don't know they supposed to lose. Well, they don't believe that the Warriors are supposed to beat them also until they show them. And that's the thing. You got Patrick Beverly. Come on, y'all. Taking KD, 7'7". Like, really? And you would think, yeah, all he would probably have to do is just post him up. Not entirely. It's not till KD realizes, wait a minute, hold on. Am I exchanging with Patrick Beverly? Really? So therefore, there was no game plan for that. So now he has to go back and reboot and go, this is Patrick Beverly. Come on. He ain't winning all defense. We know what he do. We know what his job is to do. He's supposed to nitpick. He like that little gnat. You know, when you just got to the barbecue and you hungry, you know, and you see that food over there steaming and smelling good, you go to grab it, and that little gnat just keeps getting on your piece of bread or whatever's in your hand, and you just can't enjoy it. So it just throws your whole momentum off of how you was gonna smash on this food and enjoy it. And then next thing you know, you didn't put your plate down. Now you just drinking water, and all the other good food is gone now because you fighting this and that, and you done forgot about your whole reason, your purpose for being there. That's all that happened to KD. So he gonna reassess and reboot, and they gonna be fine. And even with the loss of Boogie, I feel bad for him because he waited a long time, and he had a chance last year, and he got hurt right before the playoffs. So that's always not good to see. I mean, that was going to be real interesting. A lot of people were saying, oh, that ain't fair, but hey, everybody had a chance at him too. So even with his loss, I still believe the Warriors will be just fine. They'll be just fine. I mean, let's just keep it real. They gonna do their thing. They gonna step up. They gonna slide some guys over. The one thing though I will pay attention to is the bench play of the two teams. That boy Lou Williams is out of his mind. Classy dude. I mean, he's not much of a defensive threat, but he's a threat. And he believes more than anything that he's supposed to be there. And that's what they're facing with. Until the Clippers believe the Warriors are the defending champs, and KD believes that he's a two-time defending finals MVP, and I'm sure he'll get over that real quick. He probably has already. I know a lot of people, the story on him is he's soft and sensitive. I just think the brother is human. We got to remember he's human. I know they're entertaining our visuals, but he's a man. He's human. The flaws of consistency of being great every day is, humans are flawed. I mean, you're going to have an off day. Maybe off day. Maybe 2 off days. But he going to get on. And when he gets on, y'all see, feelings aside. I mean, he's a person. What do you say? He's a person. I know he makes a lot of money, but that's what should show you that money don't make you a superhero, immune to emotions and attacks, and immune to being thrown off your game. So, just wait and see. He's the same brother that stepped up in, game 3 in Cleveland? Hit the dagger on LBJ. Same guy. He gonna show up. Patrick Beverly will he'll fade out. They'll move him on Steph because he'll just be more of a in the way. I wouldn't say in the way, but he just wouldn't really mean anything to being on KD because he still got Clay. He's not going to have another bad game. At least not in a row. Still got Steph. Okay. Draymond. He's a battler. They'll get it together. As soon as they realize that, hey, wait a minute, we the defending champs. And as soon as they realize it, the rest of the league, at least the rest of the West Coast will realize it, and then they'll play the part. It's gonna be tough, but I do believe it'll end with the Warriors being the victor after 5 games. So I'm just gonna call it like that. Let's run over to this Nets and Philly matchup. Wow. I just believe that the Nets are who they are when it comes to their potential. I think they tap into it, but it's not consistent. And I feel the same for Philly. They're who they are. They're obviously the better team on paper, not such on court, although we saw a lopsided game. But if I would say, I believe this would be over in 6 on the side of Philly. I think Philly, it just seems like they would have to win this series. I like how, Ben was really just not listening to the fact he doesn't have a shot. I mean, you're in the NBA. You got more of a shot than I do. I mean, that's just real. The brother put down a triple-double. You got way more than shot than everybody who's talking about you not having a shot. So realize when you're in that moment, Ben, that's what I say to him. Got the trip dub, got his teams involved, his teammates involved. Play this game. You don't need a shot. You don't need a shot. You need to be exactly who you are. That's what I don't like. I hope these guys really don't listen to us analysts out there to the point where we're talking about how they need to improve their game when they're the ones putting in the work. I would like to always say I would like to see more of this, but I can't tell them cats how to improve their game. They can't tell me how to improve my talk game, But you can make suggestions. So I suggest that Ben just continue getting to the rack, orchestrating that lovely orchestra. It's up to him to make sure Embiid gets to the low block. Set them screens. Make sure they're setting off ball screens, because I saw a play where they did some double screens and I was just like, wow. So, them off ball screens is they can really, really change the game and slow it up, especially for, I guess they're a half court team. They can really play the game like that, but we just like to see some good results. So I'm saying Philly in 6. I'm saying Dubs in 5. And I'm sticking to my story. I think that's what it is. Again, Dubs up 31. They lost by 2. Don't worry about it. It has to happen. I mean, they lost 2 games during the season by 2. They lost about 8 games by 20. So, they're going to have their nights. Again, they ain't going to lose no back-to-backs. They know exactly what they need to do when they get to LA, when they get to Staples. And it's going to happen. It's going to be a nice matchup, though. Philly, they know what to do. It's kind of like they have to. They got everything right. And they got, Philly is popping, So, and we'll see. The rest of the league, though, Toronto, Orlando, I'm thinking that's going to go in 6. And I give the upset to Orlando. Yeah, they show a little something different. So I would be worried if I were Toronto. Then we got San Antonio and Denver. Yeah, they're just more complete. Denver's a beast, though. I mean, they got their spot. So let's not. I think that's going to go 7. I would say for the fun factor, Spurs in 7. Oklahoma City, Portland, West, Dame. It's going to be a good one. But if Dame keeps playing like he's doing, hitting 50-foot jumpers, and I mean, when it's time to make a bucket, like a high percent, he's shooting what's considered a low percent shot at a high percent. He don't have a chip on his shoulder. He has that variety bag pack of chips on his shoulder. So I think they all need to take him a little more serious and double up on the screen, the screen protections and the double teams on him, get the ball out of his hand. I don't, you still got CJ, but Dame, he has the assorted pack of chips on his shoulders, so he's there to eat. Then we got Boston. Let me give my prediction for the Oklahoma Portland. Like I said, if he opens up all them packs, I say it's a wrap in 7. But I'm gonna say 7, and I'll give it to because PG-13 got that shoulder. And the thing about these guys, when they get in these situations where, like KD kind of right now, where they feel like they have to be there, they have to be the one to do it, it messes up their groove. That's not their wheelhouse. It's like they need to know they can stick to the plan by all means, no matter what happens. When they start having to facilitate and that's not in the plan, if the coaches don't say, hey, either before the game or while they on the trip to the next game, if the coaches ain't telling them, hey, at some point, if it falls apart, we looking at you. Because that's obviously what Mr. Kerr didn't say to KD. He ends up fouling out the game and, getting tossed in the first game. It's just like, I think for those guys, certain guys need to know that. And that's like having that mentality that, one of the greatest or the two greatest, Kobe Bean and Michael Jordan, they had. But here, I like to throw this out. I don't think this is a point anyone's ever brought up when it comes to having a killer instinct, because I was one. I'm guilty of being one, that's very biased when it comes to LeBron and any other guy who claims to be or who pronounces the best these days when they're going up against my era and Kobe. I like Jordan because Jordan just did everything and I was just beyond amazing. It was just like, yeah, I want to be like Mike, I guess. Why not? But Kobe is the one that really influenced me into thinking about greatness, and just having full steam and just a full understanding what it took to win and go get that win. You talking about compartmentalization at its best. Nothing matters but this game as long as I'm in it. And how can you blame LeBron and all these guys these days for not having that mentality when we often hear around the league, NBA is soft, no more hand checking? Jordan would score 50 a night on average if he played during this time. Yeah, of course. They ain't got to deal with fouls like Rambis got. They ain't got them type of players anymore either. The physicality is it's more finesse now. You ain't got them Malones, Karl Malones. What's my man from the Heat? Alonzo Mourning. You ain't got them kind of guys that are just down there. Big Shaq, Diesel. You don't have those guys that just bring a physical, appearance and use it. You got Karl Anthony Towns. Yeah, he's a big dude, but he out there hitting jumpers. Shoot, even Sean Bradley was a little physical. Rick Smith. There was some guys, the Oakleys, Them guys is really, they brought it. You had to be physical. That was the name of the game then. So you can't really just say he don't have the instinct, because you really don't have to have that kind of instinct. That's what I want to argue. I put that out there. That killer instinct is not necessarily bred anymore. I think that's a different era. These cats get on the court. What's up, man? They just talking to each other on Twitter. They was having wine together, during the season. They gathering during the season. Jordan wasn't kicking it with Barkley. Otis Thorpe, them guys like that, they wasn't hanging out with Patrick Ewing. Let's just be real. Let's just, that's it. Let's just look at it like that. So that killer instinct it's evolved to. It's evolved with the game. And what I mean evolved, although it didn't, it's like it kind of regressed. It didn't evolve, but the game evolved somewhere else. It went into another direction, and therefore the players must follow. I mean, they're giving out these major contracts, and these guys don't really have nothing to, the contracts are guaranteed. So I'm not saying they're not working hard for what they have, but wow, I mean, these cats are talking about each other on Twitter. I mean, they didn't do that. I guess the killer instinct to have was, before social media, really, because you had to have all that inside. You couldn't just get that off your chest and say something about somebody else. You seen them on the court, so therefore by the time you got to the court, you weren't trying to be cool with nobody. You weren't able to hash that out before, so, and post your feelings so everybody can, say something and throw the other person off. And you had to hold on to them feelings, And then when you saw him, he was like, "It's on, partner. We ain't shaking it up." Even after the game, You saw how the bad boy Pistons did. So yeah, I just believe KD, Warriors, they're gonna be okay. KD's gonna be fine. The brother is human, just like all them other guys. They entertaining us, but they gonna be fine. Okay, Warriors in 5. It's gonna be good. Yeah, so shouts out to the homies. S.1000. D Shabazz 4. Thrax. I am Martin Ross. Hope y'all enjoyed this episode of IGSTS. I got something to say. Send in the comments. Let's debate about this. I just like to throw this stuff out there to hear what everybody else's viewpoint is. Let's talk about it. These episodes, they don't ever end. Let's just talk about it though. It's gonna be interesting playoffs, so keep your eyes peeled, and let's get back to it later. Thank y'all for listening, and have a good one. Peace. I got something to say. I got something to say. I got something to say.